drawing. And this is something that I do a lot. I love grid drawing. It's one of my favorite things to teach. So I'm gonna have to teach you digitally, but all you need is a ruler, a photo, a pencil, and a piece of paper. Now, basically with a grid drawing, you want a paper that's either the same size as your picture, or I like to make mine larger. So mine is 3 times bigger than my photo. Now I broke mine up into a 1/2 inch grid, and if my paper is 3 times bigger, I had to make the grid on my paper a 1.5 inch grid so that it was 3 times the size of my photo grid. The easiest way to do this is to take a picture and use a 1 inch grid because you're learning and it's a little bit easier. So you take a photo and you break it into a grid, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So find a photograph, print one from your computer or one you have around your house that you're allowed to draw on, and meet me back here. From a drawing I never finished. I like to start things and not finish them. And I have my ruler here. So my picture is, if I line the ruler up for the very first line, not the white space, but the actual picture is about 10.5 inches wide, and it's about 13 inches long. So I would need a piece of paper that matches that, or if I wanted to double it, my paper would have to be 10.5 times 2, which is 21, and then 13 times 2 is 26. So I would need a piece of paper 21 by 26 to make the proportions correct, or the same size paper. But you want to have something that you can multiply or divide evenly. So if your photo is 8 by 10, then you want a piece of paper that's 16 by 20 if you want to make it bigger. If you want to keep it the same, then you need an 8 by 10 piece of paper. If your photo is 4 by 5, it would need to be 8 by 10 on the paper if you wanted to double it. If you wanted it to be the same size, you want paper that's 4 by 5. I like to make mine bigger, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to use a 1 inch grid because that's the easiest for math purposes, and I'm going to line my ruler up to the edge of my photo. Then every inch, so just counting the numbers, I'm going to make a little dash across the top. And across the bottom, making sure my ruler is lined up on the edge of the photo. So every inch, make a little dash. Then I'm going to connect those dashes. This is hard to do while holding the camera. So line it up, making sure you're on the mark at the top and you're on the mark at the bottom. And then you're going to draw a line, oops, all the way across for each dash mark. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the side. That way I end up with a nice gridded photo. Now, if I'm doing the same size paper, I'm going to do 1 inch on my paper. If I'm making it twice as big, I'm going to do 2 inches on my paper. So for pretend, let's say I want it 2 times bigger. I like to use this Bristol paper when I make a drawing, but you can use whatever you have around. So put the paper at the ruler at the top, and then every 2 inches, make a grid. And that's if you're making it 2 times bigger. If you want it the same size as your photo, just do a 1 inch grid again on the same size paper. That's the same as your photo paper. So if I have a 4 by 5 picture, then, and I want to double it, it would be 8 by 10 with 2 inches. So for mine, I had a 1/2 inch grid, and then I used 3 times larger, a 1.5 inch grid here. And then all I have to do is just plug in the information. So if I have this little green piece of lettuce in box 2 across and 2 down, and I have 1, 2, 1, 2, There's that green piece of lettuce. So I can see how it fills up the box. So if I look carefully, it's kind of above the halfway point, near the line over here. Let's see if I did mine right. So kind of above the halfway, I could probably be a little bit taller. So that's how you would do it. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.